Thinking back to my 20s, there's a few purchases that really stood out to me, and in this video I'm going to go through what they are. Now there's a bunch of videos out there already that will focus on that you should be investing in real estate or purchasing stocks, and those are the best things that you can do in your 20s. But in this video I'm going to focus on actual purchases that I made and not investments, so let's dig into it. Now the first one is having premium travel credit cards, and this is really important because when I was in my 20s I rotated a lot between like the CIBC Airplan Infinite Card, the American Express Reserve Card, and these really helped to build up a lot of points and actually allowed me to travel in my 20s for really cheap or for free using points. And I think this is such a great thing to have in your 20s because you might pay for an annual fee that might be $100 or $200, but you're gonna get so much benefit out of that, especially if you're travel hacking or credit card hacking. There's so many ways to get points really quickly and to take advantage of it. Besides, in your 20s, you're probably just starting to move out of home. You're starting to have your own expenses, whether that's paying for your own cell phone bill, utilities, rent. So you might as well get rewarded for it. So the first thing that I did was get that travel rewards credit card, and it's been so beneficial. I've saved thousands of dollars in my 20s to be able to travel. And regardless, even if you're not going through 3 or 4 credit cards a year, even if you're just using one card that you put all your spending on, you're going to start collecting points. Even if it is slowly, it might be enough for a domestic flight within North America. Even that is a big win. And then there's also so many other benefits of using a credit card, whether it's security, fraud protection, and so many other benefits. So it's definitely worthwhile to be putting your expenses onto a credit card instead of paying through debit or bank transfer. And in the long run, you'll be able to build up your credit score and your credit history, which will be beneficial for you when you're in your 30s and 40s, when you're purchasing a home, purchasing a car. And having that built up credit score will help reduce your interest rates for those bigger purchases and put more money into your pocket. So definitely beneficial to start using credit cards as soon as you can. Just make sure you're doing it responsibly and take advantage of the rewards points. All right, next I've got luxury sneakers. And now you might be thinking, luxury sneakers, that's something that you should be getting later down the road. You've got to be frugal and save as much money as you can when you're younger, especially in your 20s. But actually buying luxury sneakers, the way I look at it is you're buying once instead of like twice or thrice. I remember in my early 20s when I was in school, I think I would go through like 2 or 3 pairs of shoes a year just because they were really low quality. But thinking back on it, I was like, if I got just 1 or 2 really high quality pairs of shoes, they would have probably lasted me much longer, and in the long run I would have saved a lot more money. So definitely there's the financial aspect of buying luxury items, but then also they're much more comfortable, they last longer. One thing that I really got with my sneakers is merino wool socks, which are even better. They're like super comfortable, they regulate heat, so if your feet get sweaty then it helps prevent that, which is amazing. And then in the winter they stay warm. And then also with merino wool socks, they're anti-odor, so you could literally wear them for a whole week and they won't smell. So definitely lots of benefits. And going back to the sneakers, I really like how even if I'm just wearing athleisure, wearing like Lululemon, which is my favorite nowadays, I just put those sneakers on and it just enhances the look so much. And this applies not only to sneakers but luxury items in general. Like obviously make sure you're doing your due diligence. You're not just going out and buying like everything luxury when you don't really need it. But if it is gonna have benefits in the long run, then definitely take advantage of it. Next is meal prep, and what we've been using lately is Factor, and it comes out to about $10 per meal per serving. And it's been super beneficial because the meals arrive to your door, and then when you're ready to eat them, you just put them in the microwave for 2 minutes and it's ready to go. You don't have to worry about defrosting it or anything like that. It's just ready to go. You save so much time, not only from meal prep, but also you don't have to worry about grocery shopping. And lately with inflation, I find grocery shopping is even more expensive, and the meals are super nutritious. Something that's really important for us right now is making sure it's like high protein and low calories, and Factor is that. We've compared it to several other meal prep services, and I found that it's not as much protein and it's generally a lot more higher in calories due to they probably put a lot more salt and fat in there, which is important, but if you're not getting the proportionate amount of protein, then it kind of doesn't add any benefit. But these meals are jam-packed with protein, especially if you're trying to become healthier, and if you're going to the gym often, then you want those high protein meals, and Factor gives you all of that. And following the trend of meal prep, the next thing we do is grocery shop online. So we get online food delivery from Whole Foods, and we find that to be a lot easier than having to go to the grocery store to pick up your other basic pantry items, whether it's like eggs or milk. Getting it delivered is so much faster and easier. It does cost, it's usually about $10 per order, but if you order once, and you can order for like 2 or 3 weeks, so it ends up saving you a lot of time. And man, $10 isn't too bad, especially considering you have to go there, you have to park. That can easily take 2 to 3 hours. So if you were to go out and do that, you're basically valuing your time at $3 an hour. And if you're watching this YouTube video, I'm pretty sure you can make more than $3 an hour and save time with this task. Okay, a bonus item is getting bread fresh from a bakery. Now, ever since living in Toronto, we used to live in Queen West, which is a really nice area filled with restaurants and coffee shops. And there was a bakery literally down the street. I think it was not even a minute walk away. And once we started getting fresh bread from there, it was a game changer. It tasted so good, and you really can't go back to store-bought bread after that. And there's so many more benefits of getting fresh bread. It's got so much more nutritional value, it's healthier for you, and the taste is just unbelievable. It is a little bit more expensive, but considering you're only buying maybe 1 loaf a week, it's the equivalent of maybe getting a latte a week. So definitely worth it. There's a bakery that we go to here in Seattle. It's called Seawolf. It's one of our favorites. Definitely, if you're in the Seattle area, that is the place to go. The best bread in the city, and their pastries are top notch as well, so you can't go wrong. All right, next I've got a weighted blanket. Ever since buying one, I've never used anything else, and there's so many benefits to having a weighted blanket, from reducing anxiety, which helps you fall asleep even faster. It helps relieve soreness and pain, so especially if like you go to the gym a lot and you find that your muscles get sore, using a weighted blanket actually helps speed up recovery, which I found to be really nice because you wake up in the morning and you feel so much more refreshed, and it helps you stay asleep for longer. Now, when I was younger, I would think, okay, sleep is for the weak. I don't need to sleep for longer. I want to be sleeping as little as possible and be productive and get so much done, and there's so much hustle culture and hustle porn out there. But lately, as I've gotten older, I've learned that actually sleep is so beneficial. It's a secret hack if you want to be productive, if you want to be healthy. If you're not getting the right amount of sleep, it doesn't matter how much you work out, how healthy you eat, it doesn't matter how productive you try and be, but if you're not getting sleep, it's almost not gonna have any benefit, because you need that sleep to recover, and if you're not recovering, you're not growing. And lately, even I've been getting 8 to 10 hours of sleep a day, and if you asked me this when I was in my 20s to be getting 8 to 10 hours, I would be like, that's crazy. I would never sleep that much. I need to be productive and be doing stuff. But lately I've learned that you need to be getting that amount of sleep, and it shows. I'm so much happier. Anxiety is less, so I feel like less stressed. I feel like I can take more on. I'm more productive, happier in general. So there's definitely so many benefits of sleeping well, and having a weighted blanket definitely helps. And while we're on the theme of sleep hygiene, the next best purchase that I did was subscribing to Calm. And Calm is a subscription service. It's an app which basically provides like sleep stories. It has background noise to help, like white noise to help you fall asleep faster. And I found it to be a game changer. We use it every single night, and you can actually notice it the nights that we forget to turn it on. We wake up in the middle of the night and be like, why is it so quiet? And again, going back to that theme of getting good sleep, having that subscription to Calm really helps with that. And combine that with the weighted blanket, and we are getting the best sleep ever. And you know it's a good subscription, and you know it's working when I've renewed my Calm subscription. I think we're going on like over 5 years now. So it's one of my favorite apps. So definitely check it out. I'll leave a link to it below and let me know what you think. Next, one of my favorite purchases when I was in my 20s was getting a nice pair of headphones. Especially nowadays, you listen to like YouTube or podcast, and half of the experience is audio. So if you're not getting good audio in your headphones, then it almost defeats the purpose. And especially nowadays, even with like Apple Music, they're enhancing the quality of their audio and making it sound even better. But if you don't have the right headphones to actually be able to experience it, it's almost useless. So definitely a nice pair of headphones has been game changer. So I've been a big fan of the Sony XM3s. Now those are very old. I've had them for years. We're at like the XM5s now. But if you're not a fan of Sony, Apple makes some really great headphones. The AirPod Pros 2 are incredible. They actually, those, even though how small they are, they sound better than my big over-the-ear Sonys, which is incredible to see how great audio technology has become. One of my other favorites is the AirPod Pro and the AirPods Max. Now that's something that I really want to get, but I'm waiting for them to upgrade to the next version. They've been around for a while now, and I feel like when the next version comes out, it's just going to be game changer. Next is a self-cleaning litter box. Now this was a game changer. So we've got 2 cats, and as you can imagine, changing litter is a pain, it is a chore, and it's my least favorite thing to do. Ever since we got our cats, we've been experimenting with different litter boxes, from Kickstarter litter boxes that were supposed to be revolutionary to dozens from Amazon, and then finally we got a self-cleaning litter box, and it's been game changer. It makes it so easy. Now it is more expensive up front, but I think in the long run you will save money, because just take for example the amount of litter you use. In a regular litter box, I feel like a lot of it ends up going to waste, and we were using about 2 bags per month because we've got 2 cats. So now with the self-cleaning litter box, because it cleans it every day, multiple times a day, the litter stays fresher for longer. And now instead of having to use 2 bags per month, we're now down to 1 bag a month. So that alone is almost like $20 of savings per month. So that alone will make up the cost of the litter box in under a year and a half. And then there's other benefits too, because it's getting cleaned so often, it smells less, it's much cleaner, and you can't even tell that there's a litter box in the house, which is incredible. So if you've got cats, definitely get a self-cleaning litter box. It has been one of my favorite things, and you can't go wrong. 10 out of 10 would recommend. All right, so we've gone through a bunch of purchases that I made in my 20s that were a life changer that I highly recommend you make as well. But if you want to learn more about personal finance, check out some of these videos next.